Before the glistening effluism of the universe spilled forth from the cosmic egg, the globe upon which we dwell was the goddess Barbelzoa, beloved and only daughter of he whose true name may not be spoken, but who is called in the tongue of the old ones Azathoth. She sat upon the left hand of the throne of creation, and her beauty and wisdom were the twin shining stars of her eyes, so resplendent that no shadow could endure to approach the throne. The music of her father's flute trilled forth with pure harmonies, and the 12 gigantic gods who dance upon empty space about the throne, sustaining the web of reality with their measured steps, continued with grace and decorum. The trilling notes of the flute spiraled outward unsullied, and brought forth a universe filled with bright stars. Chief messenger and soul of the dancing gods, who is named Nyarlathotep in the tongue of the old ones, looked upon Barbelzoa from his throne seat at the right hand of Azathoth, and he desired to possess her purity. Behind the back of her father, he took the virgin goddess by force, in a way that is not like the way of men, but is without the joining of flesh. He gained nothing by his treachery, for her brightness died within his darkness and left behind it only a bitterness on his tongue. In her shame, the goddess could not bear to face wise Azathoth on his throne, who could see into all hearts. She cast herself despairingly down from the mount of the triple wisdom seat, down the 93 steps, and over the edge of the abyss into the wilderness of stars. The lower she fell, the more of her shining substance turned to dull and solid matter. Nyarlathotep pursued her like a stooping dragon. She heard his cries of rage in her mind and pressed her transformed body of dense matter around herself to conceal her shining nature. Tighter and tighter she wrapped her solidifying form around herself so that she became a globe no different in outward features from millions of other globes that revolve around the stars spun forth on the music of her father's flute. The weight of matter pressing upon her soul sent her into a deep sleep that is like death. This she did not anticipate, but she could not escape it. In this sleep she dreams, and watches in her dreams what transpires upon the surface of the sphere that is her material body. But she never remembers her true name, or how she cast herself from a high estate down through the gateways of many dimensions into this hellish plane. When Azathoth learned of Barbelzoa's plunge into the depths of matter, his grief drove him mad. With his own fingernails he raked out his eyes, and in sympathy the 12 dancing gods became blind. His flute shrieked and cracked so that it no longer gave forth pure notes, but forever after made music that was imperfect. He tore off his fine robes and squatted naked and dishevelled on his throne, which turned black from the blackness of his despair. He forgot himself in madness. His hair became matted, his body clotted in his own filth. He could not cease to play his flute, for that is his only reason to exist. But the music that came forth was disordered, and caused the dancing of the 12 blind gods to stumble and falter. The creations that arose from their dances were flawed. After measureless ages of searching the length and breadth of the cosmos, Nyarlathotep found the sphere of Barbelzoa circling a small but ancient yellow star, far removed from the center of creation. In spite of all his arts, he failed to awaken her from her dreaming slumber at the center of the world. He called upon the servants of his kind, who are known as the Old Ones, to raise the sphere from the pit of matter to the high seat from which she had fallen. But the Old Ones were frustrated by the countless forms of life that had arisen to inhabit the lands and seas of its surface. So much life could not be lifted through the highest gate. Nyarlathotep then commanded that the surface of the earth be wiped clean of all life. But before the Old Ones could fulfill his command, they were attacked by the time travelers from Yith, who are wisest of all races in the universe and potent in warfare. The Old Ones were defeated and their forces split, some imprisoned in caverns beneath the ground and others sheltering themselves between the spheres of the heavens behind the sealed gates of Yog-Sothoth. Before they could reunite their forces, the stars went wrong in the heavens, and the colors of the conjoined rays became poisonous to the alien flesh of the Old Ones. The Yithians departed into the distant future, but the Old Ones remained, trapped by the stars and by time itself. The great work of the Old Ones is to sterilize this world of all life, purifying it so that it is made fit to elevate through the highest gate of Yog-Sothoth. Matter may, with some awkwardness, pass through the lower gates, but so much matter cannot be elevated through the final gate to the throne of creation. Only living matter that has become mingled with the substance of the Old Ones, and in this way transformed into hybrids, half of humanity and half of the Old Ones, become fit for this transition. This intermingling may be accomplished not merely through the mingling of flesh, but through mind and soul, which have the power to purify the body. Nyarlathotep rages. He holds the mad Azathoth in contempt, but cannot kill him and take his place on the high seat of the Black Throne of Chaos, for it is the flute of Azathoth ceased to trill its notes. The 12 blind gods halted their dance. Everything would come to an end in darkness and silence, even Nyarlathotep himself. He cannot possess the goddess Bar-Belzoa, for she is protected by her armor of dense matter, formed from her own solidifying body, which has become her prison, and perhaps a tomb. Nyarlathotep strides across the sands of this world in the shape of a man, and he rages and schemes how to raise this globe with its shining core up to the place from which it fell, so that the goddess shall be released. First, he must restore the rule of the Old Ones upon the earth. This he seeks to accomplish through the use of human agents and other agents who dwell in the deep places of the world that are not human. Yog-Sothoth aids him in his work, but not always willingly, for Yog-Sothoth did not approve of the violation of the goddess. Yog-Sothoth loves order and harmony and laments its loss. He aids Nyarlathotep in the hope that harmony will be restored to the cosmos when Bar-Belzoa awakens. But he is no friend of Nyarlathotep, and will act to frustrate the messenger of the dancing gods when opportunity presents itself. Men and women who are wise serve Nyarlathotep, for his service is the royal road to wealth and power, and to forbidden knowledge of the lost arts of magic. Yet they never fail to give honor to Yog-Sothoth, who is the gate through which all travelers must pass. Even more do they honor mad Azathoth, who is the source of all power, including that of Nyarlathotep and Yog-Sothoth. Remember this and be wise. Yog-Sothoth opens the gate. Nyarlathotep shows the way. But Azathoth on his black throne at the center of the chaos his madness has created is the fulfillment of the quest. When the fallen Bar-Belzoa awakens and is restored to the left hand of her father, her madness will end, and true service will be remembered. Cookies for you, will my fingers do like a space giraffe bitches on vacation.